The first series of the year is in the books, which means it's time for our first Mailbag Monday of the regular season. Colby, hit it.
You are Locked On Mariners, your daily Seattle Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Ahoy, sailors. It is Monday, March 31st, 2025. This is Teddy Gonzalez and Colby Patnode for the Locked On Mariners podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. And as always, if you want to hear from me and Colby even more and help support the show, you can check out our Patreon. All you have to do to check that out is click the link in the description of this episode. It is time to open the mailbag like we do here every Monday and answer some of your Mariners questions following a 4-game split with the A's this weekend. OSG wants to know, bullpen seems shaky this first series. Any quick fixes from now until Brash and Taylor are back? In terms of roster moves, there's one that quickly comes to mind, and it's the move that the Mariners frankly just should have made coming out of spring training. And that's DFA Carlos Vargas and get Casey Legumina up here. The other one that I would consider is sending Taylor Saucedo down and bringing up Drew Pomeranz. But I can understand why maybe they would wait to do that because Pomeranz would have to be carried on the 26th man from that point forward. You would have to DFA him again if you don't want him on the roster. Maybe that's not a huge deal to them, but yeah, I would consider doing that as well because Pomeranz looked pretty good, especially towards the end of the spring. He has track record and all that, and the fastball actually graded out really well. But Legumina over Vargas, I think that's a no-brainer. I would also consider Fujinami over Vargas. Yeah. Fujinami has minor league options as well, though. So,
yeah. The thing with roster moves is that it doesn't appear, barring a setback at least, that Brash and Taylor, it does appear they're both going to probably be back by the middle of April.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw Brash actually throw a bullpen at T-Mobile yesterday. And obviously it's not like I can see the radar gun or anything like that. And I'm not the guy who stands directly behind home plate and is like, oh, look at the spin. Look at this video I took. So, no. I can't tell you.
But we had a man on the scene, baby.
That's right. I just saw him pitch, and I actually recognized him, which is unusual for me. I'm not good with faces, so
he is not.
No,
it's really bad.
Yeah,
jersey numbers as well.
I feel like I do okay with jersey numbers.
Those of you who who listen to CTZ, let us know how good Colby is with jersey numbers. I think you guys know very well at this point.
Pretty good. It's the faces. But anyways, yeah. So any kind of like move you make is going to be short term. So like if you hopefully short term. So if like you add Pomeranz right now, you probably have to DFA him in a couple weeks. But not necessarily. Again, the only guys in the Mariners bullpen with options are Saucedo and
Santos.
Santos, yeah, and you're not sending down Santos. He looks pretty good, although we'll call it effectively wild in his first 2 appearances. So, yeah.
Who was that Pareda yesterday that he nearly decapitated? Yeah.
Whatever. Just set the tone, But yeah, I think honestly the biggest thing that they could do is start using the pitchers in a role that they're actually suited for. Like maybe don't use your 5th best reliever in a tie game in the 8th or up by 1 in the 8th against the middle or the 2 best hitters in the other team's lineup. I don't know. Maybe use Andres Munoz for that. If you trust Thornton that much, then why not have him pitch the 9th and face 4, 5, 6 instead? Just kind of a weird decision there.
Also, may I make a suggestion? If you are a Mariners reliever and there's an infield pop-up, maybe let your third baseman or your catcher take it.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, Snyder looked fine.
No, that's what was annoying about that inning was he actually threw the ball really well. It's just he made a big oopsie.
Kind of a weekend in totality right there. Big oopsie.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Not so much you getting beat, just you losing. But yeah, I would rather have Snyder pitch that inning. I would rather have obviously Munoz. I'd rather have Santos. So there's right there. is 3. But I think, obviously, look, they're going to be early in the season. There are going to be days where they're not going to use pitchers back to back if they can help it and all that, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, start utilizing the bullpen in the most efficient way, maximizing the leverages and whatnot. That would also help, as well as, getting rid of the dead weight and bringing up the guy who actually should have been on the opening day roster anyways. You might as well just do that now. Yeah. So because at some point we know
Lagamina earned it, man. I don't see it with Vargas, and I didn't see it in the outing that he had the other night where he gave up a home run to Luis Arias of all people. I
could be wrong, but I think I remember looking at the Statcast data on Vargas. I don't think he generated a whiff. Didn't generate a single swing and miss,
which has kind of been his problem since he's gotten to the organization. So
you throw 100 miles an hour with like a 94 mile an hour, 95 mile an hour cutter, you should be missing some bats, and he just doesn't. So so get rid of the dead weight, get some actual help here, and start utilizing guys in a role that they're better suited to flourish in. Asking Trent Thornton to get out Brent Rooker in a 1-run game is a mistake. That is a bad idea. Got away with it yesterday, literally, but that's a bad idea. That's a stupid idea. You have to start utilizing your bullpen in a way that it is built to be utilized, which is your highest leverage guy going in the highest leverage moment against their best hitters. That means Munoz has to pitch the 8th. So be it. And maybe, just maybe, when Brash comes back, maybe they'll feel more comfortable using Munoz earlier, or, well, they'll just use Brash probably. But yeah, until those guys come back, you need to actually have the 8 best relievers in your organization on the roster right now, and you need to utilize them the way that they are supposed to be utilized, not the way you wish you could utilize them, because Trent Thornton has no business pitching high leverage situations against, the other team's best hitters. None. Never should happen.
And that's something we saw last year as well. I just think the organization, for some reason, really, really likes him. It's another.
I like him too. He's a solid, mid-leverage guy.
Yeah, I like him in the role that he should be in.
Yeah.
But they like him more than that, which I think some of that is just due to what other options they have available to them right now. But also, I think they legitimately think he can handle that. And you can get away with it sometimes, like you did yesterday, barely. Brent Rooker squares that ball up, probably a different story.
93 down the pipe.
Yeah. But overall, that's just not a guy that I want to throw in those situations unless it's like, this guy is down for the day. This guy is down for the day. Yeah. So I just, like, Thornton's our second or third best guy who's available.
But yesterday it's like, why are you having Santos pitch the 7th when he's facing 6, 7, 8? Like, that's when you use Thornton, is against 6, 7, 8 in the 7th, and you use Santos with a fresh inning in the 8th. And so they don't trust Gregory Santos apparently yet.
So that's what I was going to say is, like, I guess that's indicative of, or more so indicative of, how they feel about Santos right now than maybe Thornton.
Yeah, I guess Snyder threw, quite a few pitches yesterday, so he probably was down, on Saturday, so he was probably down yesterday. Like, I get it, but also just flip those 2 guys.
Yeah. Some of the bullpen decisions, particularly on opening day and then yesterday, were a little weird.
Dan had a rough week.
Yeah, wasn't great. And obviously, it's a collaborative effort, whatever. I do think some of this is just organization determined, because we saw some of this, especially the Thornton stuff, under Scott as well.
Yeah. Didn't see nearly as many stupid bunts, though.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. All right,
shocked they didn't get thrown out at home yesterday too.
Woof. We are going to answer more of your questions in just a moment, but first, a reminder: this episode of the Locked On Mariners podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. All right, folks, it's that time of year again. March Madness is finally here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly instantly. No waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. That's FanDuel.com. And you're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. Before we get back to your questions here on Mailbag Monday, quick reminder about the giveaway we got going on. We got a few more days to enter. We are right now, at the time of this recording, at 12,966 subscribers. So we've hit every single one of our goals except for one, which is 13,000 subscribers, which will get you a signed Lazaro Montes card. Well, we'll get that card added to the grand prize. So yeah, all you have to do is comment on one of our episodes between 2 Thursdays ago and this upcoming Thursday. Subscribe to the channel, and you're entered. And we will pick a random video, and then have a software pick a random comment from that video. And whoever gets that will win what exactly, Colby?
Well, right now, the last thing we can add to this is, like Ty said, is this Lazaro Montes autograph card, and that will come if we hit 13,000 in the next 3 days, essentially. So already in the prize packs, one person is walking away with $125 of Simply Seattle gift certificates, plus this autograph Victor Robles card, this autograph JP Crawford card, this autograph A. Eugenio Suarez card, best hitter in the National League, apparently.
Jeez.
But we have Carlos Vargas, baby. And also this numbered 12 out of 15 Felon Celestin card. So $125, Simply Seattle gift certificates, and all those cards right now. And in another 34 subs, we'll add the Lazaro Montes on top of that. So again, subscribe, leave a comment. You have a chance to win all of that.
So yeah, terms and conditions in the description of this episode. You guys got a few more days to enter. Be sure to tell your friends, family, etc. Let's get back into your questions. Campbell wants to know, what did y'all think of Ryan Bliss in the first series?
Yeah, I thought Bliss looked good. You kind of saw what the floor is with Ryan Bliss, and it's that he's going to take his walks. He's shown that he's willing to do that. He's going to create havoc on the bases, for better or worse sometimes. He's a very good base stealer. And we saw the difference that his range makes at second base. It's night and day over what the Mariners have had really since, Cano. He's the most athletic second baseman they've had even since then. Like, he's very good defensively. Arm is always going to be a question for him, but he got rid of the ball pretty quickly. And you feel really comfortable when a ground ball's hit to second base. Whereas, the last few years, you kind of, now that's just shifted over to third base, unfortunately. But yeah, Bliss, I thought Bliss looked good. He looked good in the field. He looked good, comfortable running the bases. He didn't seem overmatched in most of his at-bats. He's got some things to work on. The high fastball still giving him a little bit of a trouble. But yeah, he needs to improve at the plate. But just based on what we saw in the field defensively and on the bases, I think it's safe to say that Bliss has handled himself just fine this weekend. And if he does start to hit, he's an everyday player. So I feel pretty comfortable about Ryan Bliss and where he's at right now.
He was probably their third best position player in this series, which, to be fair, kind of a low bar to clear, given how the team overall performed. But
if we were factoring in defense too, I'd say you could probably make an argument for second.
Yeah, but, he was pretty impactful in a multitude of ways. I really like the play that he made going to his left, where he was able to turn and made a nice, accurate throw to JP for the double play. He had a really good series defensively. So I'm excited to see how that progresses. And again, like, even if he doesn't hit a ton, if he's doing that, like making an impact on the bases and playing defense the way that he did this series, that's an easy 2-win season.
Yeah. If he can draw walks and he can hit for a little bit of pop, the batting average is kind of going to take care of itself. Like, yeah, he's going to walk 12% of the time, play that defense, steal those bases. If he even runs into 12 to 15 homers, he could probably hit 200, and you're still going to get a 2-win player out of that. So we'll see. Obviously, it's a long season. The league's going to start to get a book on him a little bit. Not that he's had a ton of success at the plate this year, but we'll see how they adjust to him and how he adjusts to them and all that. That's always the big question. But yeah, I thought Bliss looked, rock solid this weekend. And He started 3 of the 4 games at second base. So
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like he's, garnering some
And
trust.
it should stay that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. RCN Nitro wants to know thoughts on Randy so far. He seems to be squaring up the ball, just seems to be getting unlucky. Yeah, outside of Jorge Polanco, he was probably the most locked in Mariners hitter in this series. And he went 1 for 12, right? But
Pretty impactful hit though.
Yeah. I mean, he made that lone hit count and then some. But yeah, like you said, he was really unlucky. 6 hard hit balls over the course of the series. He had the one that was roped right to second base. I mean, he hit 2 of basically the same out to Max Muncy, and I think Thursday and Saturday's games. And the Saturday one was the most brutal because you had bases loaded, no outs, and he hits a ball 105 off of the bat right to Muncy for the double play. And then had another one that was 112 off of the bat. And then yesterday he hits a ball to dead center that was 105 off of the bat. And apparently the wind killed it by 28 projected feet.
Yeah.
So on a normal day that ball would have gone over the wall.
Batter's eye.
Yeah. And so it was just a brutal, really good, even great process, just awful, brutal results for Randy.
Yeah, I texted my good friend Ben Ranieri and I said that Randy has had the best bad series I've ever seen in my life. So he's dialed in. Also made some pretty decent, defensive plays out there in left field too. And so yeah, Randy definitely looks like he's seeing the ball pretty well. It's just bad luck right now, and that really sucks not only for Randy but for the Mariners right now because there's only a handful of guys having good plate appearances. And one of the guys who isn't producing quite yet. And so, yeah, it's as bad as Julio was until his last swing, as bad as JP was, as bad as Cal was, you really needed somebody to step up. And to his credit, Randy tried. He had plenty of hard hit balls. He should have better numbers. But again, this is why baseball's baseball, right? It's 4 games in, they'll even out, you hope. But yeah, Randy, just mostly bad luck. I'm actually quite excited with what I saw from Randy this weekend.
Side Eye Dumper at See Us Dump wants to know, in a small sample, Mitch Garver's bat speed is over 2 miles per hour faster than it was a year ago. Encouraging sign? Sure. I thought he actually didn't have that bad of a series. He, like Randy, yesterday hit a ball that in normal conditions would have gone over the wall. But it was just killed by the wind. And then he had a single, on Friday?
Yeah, he had 1 hit, and yet his expected batting average over the weekend was 405. So yeah, he's squared some things up. It's, again, we are at such a small number of games that it's even too small to call the sample size a small sample size, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind, obviously, here. But you look at his Savant page so far. It's a lot of red. The bat speed's now about league average. The Ks are fine. He struck out, I think twice in 9 plate appearances, I believe is what it is. He also walked. He also drew a walk. The average exit velo right now, 94.9%. So, or 94.9 miles per hour, I should say. So yeah, he squared it up this week. A bit of bad luck. But yeah, overall, again, much like with Randy, it's I think you're pretty encouraged by that. And I would like to see him get even more at bats. I think 8 plate appearances in a 4-game series is a pretty stupid process. I think I want to see him play, like I talked about, pretty much every day, either at DH or catcher, or maybe even some first base. I mean, if Rowdy Tellez can do it, how hard can it be? So yeah, I think Garver needs to be in the lineup more. I want to see this play out. But yeah, I think you walk away from this series pretty encouraged from Garver, much like you do Randy, even though the numbers aren't really there. The process or the results aren't there. The process looks better, and there was a tangible change to the mechanics that could explain why the success is happening. It's not just luck, right? There was a change that was made, and we'll have to see how it plays out over a bigger sample. But overall, yeah, I think you have to be pretty encouraged by what you saw from Garver too.
You're listening to the Locked On Mariners podcast. It is Mailbag Monday. We got a question from Peter who wants to know, it's not high on the list of issues, but is there reason to be concerned about Dylan Moore's ability to square up the 92 to 94 mile per hour fastballs in the middle of the zone that he saw all weekend? Or is this just typical early season rust? I assume that you're asking this specifically because of the fastball that he missed from Sears yesterday. I think it was like 95 or 93 down the pipe, and he just swung right through it. He's always been pretty bad at hitting the fastball, particularly in the zone.
I was going to say, this isn't typical early season Russ. This is typical Dylan Moore.
Yeah.
Like, we know who Dylan Moore is now, guys.
Yeah. I looked it up earlier because, we were planning on answering this question, and like, I wasn't able to filter it where I could get in zone swing and miss and like have it like sorted for a leaderboard on the team. But in terms of just Dylan Moore versus fastballs, which you would think a lot of them are going to be in the zone anyway, he's been second on the team. He's had like the highest or second highest whiff rate on the team in like each of the last like 3 or 4 seasons, like 30%, 29%, etc. So he's just been really bad about, at hitting the fastball. Now, when he squares it up, does some damage with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, and that's what's kind of most frustrating about this is like, he can do damage with those pitches. It's just, he just can't consistently get the bat on the ball.
No, there's nothing new with Dylan Moore. He's got a groove swing. So when everything goes right and he makes contact, it's going to get hit hard. He's just going to swing and miss a lot.
Yeah.
That's just who he is. And again, this is year 7 of Dylan Moore, 6 of Dylan Moore. I think this is his 7th season.
Yeah, this is 7th season. Yeah.
Like, he's pretty much been the same guy since the day he got here. I don't know why we keep expecting something different from Dylan Moore. He is who he is. And that is a useful player who definitely should not be playing every day. And that's who Dylan Moore is. And so you got to ride the high and you got to, handle the low, but he's still a valuable player. He's still, pretty useful off the bench in a lot of different ways. And you can win a lot of ball games with Dylan Moore on your roster. You just can't win a lot of ball games that Dylan Moore is playing every day.
Game Face Sports wants to know, should some of the Mariners hitters try the Torpedo bat? Julio hits off the inner part of the barrel often. I'd like to see him try one out. Dude, I don't know about you. I'm already tired of the discourse around the Torpedo bats. Like, are they cheating? Are they blah, blah, blah? Is it legal? I don't care.
Look, for what it's worth, MLB basically came out like 20 minutes ago and just explained what the bats are. So it doesn't seem like they're actually like going to do anything about it. And technically they don't break rules. Like,
what we're going to see is just every other team start to use them. I don't know if every single player is going to start to use them.
They'll start to have them, and then And by the way, the Yankees aren't the only team that's using them. Like, a lot of players from other teams are using them, just not kind of like the whole team.
I expect that we'll start seeing them a lot here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll probably start seeing more Mariners using them. Sure.
Yeah.
But as for the whole, like, is it cheating thing? Like, technically, no. They meet the specs, and there's never been a rule about altering the shape of the bat as long as they meet the specs, right? So it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't care. I really don't. They look a little silly, fine, but you'll get used to them. And just the whole week. It's like, hey, you know what? The Yankees, they also saw like 100 more pitches in the middle of the plate below 90 miles an hour than the next closest team did. And they destroyed them. And it's like, well, they have Cody Bellinger, they have Judge, they have Jazz. Like, if you leave 90 in the middle of the plate to those guys, they're going to torch you. Yeah, that's not that surprising. So, I just think this is one of those things where it's like, look, Major League Baseball has kind of already said they're fine. They're signed off on. And so I think the Yankees get the benefit of being, a couple weeks earlier on this than everybody else. And then the rest of the league we'll start to see them more and more. Again, I'm not saying the rest of the league will start swinging them because some guys won't like the field. They won't like the weight distribution, whatever. Yeah. And they'll stick to swinging the standard bat, but they will be available to every team. And they already have been. It's just the Yankees. They went off this weekend on the Brewers. And now everybody wants to call it cheating, or they want to talk about, blah, blah, blah. Just the Yankees were just out in front of this. and now everybody else can catch up, and it's fine. Everybody can still have the same level playing field. Would it help Julio? I have no idea. I'm not a physicist. I'm not. I'm not a doctor. So like
you just play one on TV.
Yes, I'm not not a medical doctor. I'm not a physicist. I don't know like what this is going to do. Not a mathematician. Should he try one if he wants to? Like, whatever, man. Like, I don't know. They're just bats. So, yeah. I thankfully avoided most of that because yesterday I was at the ballpark and I was trying to be on my phone a little bit less. And so, yeah, but I saw like all the controversy. I saw all the big content creators making videos about it. I'm just like, oh, can we not? Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's going to be something that just ends up kind of sweeping the league, and we'll start to see the Mariners use it. It's
kind of like when
I assume it's just going to be how quick can they get those bats custom made?
Yeah. I think pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like remember when the bat knob, some guys started transition to like the axe handle. Yeah, it's just going to be like that, and then we'll stop talking in like 3 weeks when everybody's swinging them. We'll stop talking about them.
Right, because at that point, once the whole league is using it, once the whole league is using it, then who cares, right? Everyone's on a level playing field at that point.
And I'm sure I'm sure the Mariners already have a couple, and they're like, hey, try this out, see if you like it, blah blah blah. So.
And by the way, similar conversation to like the steroid stuff. You still have to make contact. So. Yeah.
People are amazed Aaron Judge hit 4 home runs in 3 games or whatever. And it's like, yeah, kind of what the guy does. So like, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal, but to answer the question, would it help Julio? Maybe. I don't know though, for sure. Should he try it? Sure. I think everybody should try it.
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt to at least try it. See what happens.
Give it a shot.
So yeah. All right. That's going to do it for our show. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Locked On Mariners podcast. For Colby Patnode, I'm Titan Gonzalez. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at LO_Mariners. You can follow me at Titan Gonzalez and Colby at CPAT11. That's CPAT11. We're also on Blue Sky. You can follow me at TDG, Colby at MLB Colby, and the show at Locked On Mariners. Have yourself a beautiful baseball day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.